the line?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. You're almost there. Keep going.
Yay! Good job,
Blair.
sweetie.
Blair, did you know you raised over $30,000? Can you say thank you? Thank you very much. Jim Sheehan with the Spastic Paraplegia Foundation. Getting ready to start our meeting today. Glad you could join us. We have a big group, so big that we can't not able to allow everyone to show their videos. So hopefully that's not a big deal. But we have 5 people that will be presenting information. Actually, 4 people that will be presenting information to you. First off, we have Frank, which is our president. Everyone I think has met Frank before, or at least heard from him. Of course, he's again the president and involved with lots of activities with the foundation. We also have Hank. He's actually in charge of our tech committee and involved with all of our communication, setting up the Zoom calls, stuff like that. So he's very involved. We have Tina and Tim Krogan. Tina has been chair of the education committee for a while and been involved with the ambassador program. And she has HSP, Frank has HSP, and Hank has PLS. I meant to mention that earlier. Tim is, of course, Tina's husband, and he's over the marketing committee for the foundation. He is disease-free. Next, we have Stephanie Lark. She has a daughter named Blair, and they were involved with the Blair Bear virtual 5K this past fall. And she's going to be sharing some information with you about what they did to implement their huge fundraising experience. So with that, I will turn it over to Frank for a few words.
Hello, everyone. I think I'll come on screen. My name is Frank Davis, and I think Jim is still on the screen. But anyway, introduce what Rare Disease Day is, and the purpose of it is really not for us. It's to increase awareness for the rest of the world who thinks a rare disease is something that's rare, and that unfortunately that's the name for rare diseases. But 1 in 10 people have a rare disease. So they had the metaphor of the fact that every time you get on a crowded elevator, 1 person on that elevator has a rare disease. Or if any time you get on a bus that's full, 4 people on that bus are going to have a rare disease. So that's more than cancer or heart disease combined. That if you wanted to put that in big numbers, that there are 25 to 30 million Americans that have rare diseases. And what is a rare disease? A rare disease is any disease that has less than 200,000 people. There are many different examples of rare diseases because there are 7,000 different rare diseases, and that's why they're called rare, because there are so few of each one. Most have no treatment, such as HSP and PLS, and 2/3 of them are children. So what the purpose of Rare Disease Day is not for us, it's to increase awareness of all that. And I've sent a letter to our new president and suggested that he make that a focus of his administration, and maybe the first lady could make it her thing to do, but then maybe the rest of us could write our senators and congressmen to ask that to be a bigger focus. And then there are several things I posted this morning on our website, all sorts of different things we can do on Rare Disease Month, which is February, or Rare Disease Day, which is the last day of February of every year, which is the 28th or the 29th, depending on whether it's a leap year or not. And so we're also want to try to teach everybody a really easy way to do some fundraising, which Stephanie is going to help us do. And she's been really successful at that. So I'll give it back to Jim. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Frank. Something I forgot to mention earlier too, audience, if you have a question about anything, if you'll shoot that through the chat site, and then we have that someone monitoring that so we can kind of get those answers as we go. A couple of things about Rare Disease today. Rare Disease Today is a huge promotion through NORD, the National Organization for Rare Diseases. And the the promotion is to show your stripes, you know, kind of like a zebra. They say that no two zebras have the same stripes. So wanting everyone to reach out and to spread as much awareness as you can. For those that don't know, it's estimated, kind of what kind of going on with Frank was saying, it's estimated that 1 in 10 people in the United States have some form of rare disease. So, you know, we all think of a rare disease as very rare, and it is, but still 1 in 10, that's more than you think. So, all right, first we're going to go over some slides. An opportunity how you guys can help is through doing some fundraising. The Spastic Paraplegia website, what you'll do is you'll go to Get Involved to the left there. You'll scroll up to the SPF Rare Disease Day campaign. Click on that. My computer's a little slow. There we go. You'll scroll down to the nice logo talking about the Rare Disease Day opportunities. You'll click on that. And this will take you to the fundraising page that it's been set up for you to use. Scroll down and share a nice video. It's a 30-second video that you're welcome to download and share with family and friends. So hang on just a second.
It is time to find a cure. We are the Spastic Paraplegia Foundation, dedicated to advancing research and finding a cure for primary lateral sclerosis and hereditary spastic paraplegia.
It's time for a cure.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
It is time.
It's time.
It is time.
It's time for a cure.
A cure is within reach. Please donate. It's time.
Great. So that's the video that you guys are welcome to share. So this is the landing page, I guess, to the fundraising page. And you see here information. This is Adley. She's a young lady that has done some hot dog sales fundraising for us, and also some t-shirt sales. Very successful. But what you'll do is your family and friends, anyone that wants to either donate, you can donate just to make a contribution with this button. Or if you want to start fundraising, what you do is click Start Fundraising. And then it'll take you to the registration page. You can see here, this is just some information, kind of what we're looking at doing, just a welcome page. Let you read over that at your leisure. When you're ready to start, you'll hit the next button. This will take you to the Create Account section. I'm actually already logged on. When you'll go on for the first time, it'll ask you to provide information to set up a page, your personal information, so you can do that. Once that's done, you'll hit the next button again, and this will be your personalizing your account. You'll get to select your picture, or your first name, last name, kind of finalizing things for your fundraising page. Then you hit next. And this is the tell your story part. So you'll put in your fundraising goal, just kind of think about things and figure out what you want to start with. Start low, and then you can always increase your goal depending on how successful you are. Primary action, call to action information. This information is provided for you. Feel free to go in and delete and add as much as you want. Secondary call to action and your personal story. Feel free to put as much stuff in there about your story as you can. They say that most people give through the heart, not through their mind. So if you can come up with a great story to sell why you are raising money, that would be great. Next, you will hit the next button, and that will take you to finalizing things with your page. I'm not going to click that just now because I've not set up my telling your story. But once that's done, the information will be sent to Hank, and then he'll look at it and approve it. And then once it's approved, you guys will be up and ready to raise money. Now we're going to go to another type of page that's been set up previously. This was the Blair Bear Virtual 5K that Stephanie and Chris Lorick set up for their daughter. She's a young lady that has hereditary spastic paraplegia, and this is their page. You can see here that what they raised was a huge amount. It's actually closer to $50,000, excuse me. But the original goal was actually $5,000, and as the campaign went on, they raised that. So again, you can individuals can go in and make a donation, or if they want to set up and become a fundraiser, like I just showed you on our page. About the campaign, this is information that, again, that you would provide, information about your situation, how you want to communicate your story to donors, and again, as much or as little about that as you want. And then you can see start fundraising. Different pages have been set up. You can donate $25, $50, $100, or $500. You can set those up, and that way your donors can go in and just click on whichever one they feel comfortable donating, and that will take them straight to the donation. You can see here, the cool thing about this is that when you log on and your family and friends, whoever wants to participate, you can look on and see what what everyone has done to date, but also what individually you have done. You can look at the top individuals who've raised money. If you're raising money with a team, you can see what your team has done. So it's really neat to see what you are doing compared to other guys and girls participating. So that's an example again of what the Lorks did. And now I'm going to turn it over to Stephanie, who will go through more specific information about how they set their page up and how they became so successful at raising so much money. Thank you.
Okay, so let's see now. Let's see, share screen. Great. So I'll just start with a really short little overview of Blair and who we are and who Blair is. So our daughter just turned 3 yesterday, and ever since she was a baby, she had issues meeting her gross motor milestones, and we never really knew if she was just, behind or if there was an underlying reason for it. But ever since she was about 8 months old, we had kind of been seeing doctors and looking and trying to figure out what was going on with her. Eventually, after a lot of different testing and doctor's visits, we got a genetic test and we got the results this past August. And it showed that she had a de novo mutation in one of her genes and that she had HSP. So for us at this point in time, it was, even though we had been looking for a diagnosis for a long time, it was still really, it was a lot to handle, and it was really emotional. And we felt like we had a lot to do. So we, set to work trying to learn as much as we could, trying to connect with all the doctors she would need, and, just trying to kind of figure out what was going on. And we got in touch with the foundation and we talked to some people there. And then, once we were feeling like we had our arms around things a little bit better, I think we still felt very fragile and emotional about everything. And so just about me, I've always been an avid runner. I've run many, many marathons, probably between 20 and 30 marathons. And, for a little while, after we got the diagnosis, I almost felt a little guilty going out on my runs because, we don't know, Blair is not able to walk yet or stand independently, and we don't know where she'll end up. And so I almost felt a little sad and guilty on my runs. But one day I was out running and I started thinking that I really wanted to do something more for Blair and for all people that have this disease. So I kind of got the idea that I could use how people know me as a runner to raise money for the foundation. I was a little, I was nervous to do it because we hadn't yet shared Blair's diagnosis with anyone besides immediate family. And I didn't know really how it would work out. I've run plenty of 5Ks, but I've never planned one. So I was completely inexperienced. And we were in the middle of, the pandemic, and we still are, but so I really didn't know, but I really thought that I wanted to do my part and try to raise money to look for a cure for this disease. So I basically decided to set up kind of a loose version of a 5K. It was a virtual 5K. So I just, figured that everybody could run it on their own schedule, where they live. There was no kind of central run. So I didn't, do any of the typical t-shirts or prizes or publicizing of the event, except for within my network. So basically what we did was we created a fundraising page, which Hank really was very, very helpful with that. And I wrote a letter that we included in the fundraising page, and I also sent by email and posted on Facebook, which was a very, personal letter, kind of expressing what was going on with Blair, where she may end up, and, really just kind of from the heart, telling people what was going on and what we wanted to do in order to help Blair and help all the people with HSP. So I sent this letter, and you can see it if you go to our fundraising page. It's a very similar letter to what I emailed, and I emailed that to everybody, almost everybody in my email address book. I posted it on Facebook, which I'm not, and don't let this, if you're not a social media person, don't let it dissuade you, because I have Facebook and I have Instagram, but I'm not like a prolific poster or anything. So it was, I hadn't posted for a long time, and I made a post, and I probably had 500 people on there that saw it. A lot of people I hadn't spoken to for many years. But as part of my plan, I asked for people to run the 5K and donate, but I also encouraged people to make a fundraising page as well, or to form a team, because I kind of wanted this thing to have tentacles. I wanted the people that I know to donate, but then I had been talking to a friend one day saying I might do this 5K, and she said, "Oh, I would raise money for it." So I said, "Okay, that makes sense, and maybe we can get a whole bunch of teams going. And if those teams can all raise money, then we can really make a bigger impact." So sorry, I think my presentation went ahead a little bit here for somehow. But anyway, what I was saying is, so we planned the 5K because for me that was, I'm a runner and that's what people know me as. But I think a very effective way to plan your own fundraiser would be to plan something that is very more personalized to you. So it could be a 5K. It could be, for my husband, I said, if we do another fundraiser, we should do a golf tournament. I think you just need to have something that you're passionate about. And, like I said, it was our goal to raise not only money, but also awareness, because we wanted people to know what we're going through and what Blair is going through, but we also really want to just get it out there and have people learn more about this disease. So those were our main goals. And like I said, also we had to have a lot of courage in order to go out there and tell people the diagnosis for the first time and ask them to do this for us. So basically, after I sent the initial message, I along with it, we posted some cute pictures of Blair on Facebook, which is easy to do because, she's a cute little 2.5, 3-year-old. So I think that really helped for us. We created a hashtag and encouraged people that completed the 5K or formed a team or whatnot to post to that hashtag so everybody could see all of the different pictures or references to the 5K. And I think, just to kind of create like a little bit of kind of personalization to it. A few other interesting, things that we were able to do was my husband was able to have his employer was willing to start a team for the company and was willing to match all employee contributions up to, or I don't even know if there was a limit, but so that, that was something that right there kind of just doubled the contributions, having that employer match. We had a family member who's a BU women's lacrosse player. She enlisted her whole lacrosse team to start a team and fundraise. So that was a good way to get a whole chunk of donations, and just different things like that. Anybody who had any kind of big network themselves, or we shared it with her school, with Blair's daycare, and the school started a fundraising and they shared it. They have weekly email letters, so they shared the link in the email letters. We just really did everything that we could to try to get it out there. And initially our goal, like Jim said, was $5,000 or $10,000, but we posted it, and I think literally we were close to hitting the goal within a few hours of sharing the information. So I think I emailed Jim and I said, okay, let's raise it to 10,000. And then I emailed him like a day later. I was like, okay, just do 20,000. He probably got tired of me writing to him. But I didn't want it to show that we hit our goal right away, because I wanted it, to have a little bit more runway in terms of more people joining on. What I did throughout the fundraiser was about each week or so, I sent or made a Facebook post or sent a message, saying how we were doing, thanking people for their participation. I included, some more cute pictures of Blair, gave a little more information. And I think a big contributor to the success was I was really open and allowed myself to be a little bit emotional about it, because I do think that pulling at heartstrings, not, in a nice way, but for a good cause, just, really being truthful and out there really helped to make the story more compelling. And then just continued to leverage the network, everybody that we could think of. And I also was very conscious to remind people that, we may be able to find a cure for HSP, but it could also help find a cure or help people with other diseases. And I think everybody out there knows, like you all were saying at the beginning of the presentation, 1 in 10 people have a rare disease. And so everybody knows someone or has a family member who has some kind of rare disease. And I think that really draws people in when they feel like they can closely identify. And I'll say that we had many large donations from people who we don't even know. We had, plenty of family and friends and contacts, and I had people from high school who hadn't spoken to for 20 years, but then we had a lot of people giving very, very generous donations who didn't know us. So I really think, you can't limit your network or underestimate how generous people will be if you ask. So that's basically what I want to say. I think it's just important to maintain your momentum by sending out updates. I think it's important to express your gratitude and be persistent in thanking people. Show them that they are making a difference. And I don't think any amount of money, we were really fortunate to have raised almost $50,000, but I do think that, if everybody on this call right now were to raise $1,000 right there, that would be a really, really good contribution to research. So finally, let me end with a few ideas I had that I didn't, that we didn't do, but we wanted to. Actually, we took a video of Blair crossing the 5K finish line, and we posted that about with about 2 weeks left of the fundraiser, and that was a big driver for more donations. One thing I wish I had done that I didn't do was maybe share that video with like a local news network, because you never know. Sometimes they play those kind of videos, and we could have even potentially gotten more of a pop by doing that. We just really didn't get together to do it, unfortunately. And then we didn't ask local businesses for donations, but I think that could be a really good way to kind of expand the fundraiser as well. So, maybe next time we do this, maybe we'll actually do an organized 5K and get the town involved and get local businesses to either donate money or prizes or whatnot. But in essence, those are just some other ideas we had. And then just finally, I think the biggest thing that made this successful is that we believe that, we really do believe that we can find a cure to help people with HSP and PLS and other diseases. And we just need to put our hearts into it. And so that's what we did. We just put all of our heart into it. And Blair is here. She just wants to say hi. So let's, this is Blair. Can you say hi? Okay. So this is our little all-star who helped us raise $50,000, right? Yay! Okay. And with that, I am done with my presentation. Thank you so much for bearing with me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If you can unshare your screen, I think.
Sure. And one thing I should just say is we are happy to distribute this presentation for anybody who wants it, or we're happy to answer any questions or chat through anything. So just let us know.
Awesome. 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 Thanks so much. And audience, anytime you have any questions, please use the chat box to send questions. And if you want to address it to someone in particular, if you can put their name in there, it's like, Jim, what did you say? Or Stephanie, what did you say about this? Whatever, feel free to do that. Next up, we have we have Tim and Tina to talk about promotion of Rare Disease Day.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
As you can tell, we've got a nice little virtual logo behind us that represents the Rare Disease Day logo. Tina's also wearing a shirt from a couple of years ago of Rare Disease Day. We like to talk about Rare Disease Day because it's really something that is a pinpoint in time where everybody comes together in order to support and to bring awareness to not only our rare disease, but all the rare diseases that are out there. What we wanted to talk to you about today is actually the Rare Disease Day website. They've got some really great items out there that you can use to help you tell your story. And it's from simple things to, there's so much data and so much stuff there, but it behooves you, that's a cool word, to take a look at their website and just kind of take a look and browse and see things that you can do. For instance, we downloaded this image, this virtual image that we can use in the back when we do our Zoom meetings. So Jim, I'm going to share my screen here and we're going to go to the website and there we are.
RareDiseaseDay.org.
Hope everybody can see that. We'll give it a second to go out amongst the internet and show you what it is. This is the landing page when you come to it. You can see there's a countdown clock to what everybody is, what we're aiming for, okay? And it's got a lot of data. It's all information about rare diseases. It already says on the front, there's over 300 million people with rare diseases, over 103 different countries, and there's a lot of different events throughout the world. And what's great about this is, once again, it's a website that it takes you a little bit of time and effort to go through. Click on all the links about the day, the events worldwide, how to get involved, news of rare diseases, and of course, if you like to shop and get a little bit of swag, you're welcome to do that too, like Tina has here. But I like to roll up the page, always about sharing your story. We do it amongst our members and our families and our friends and everybody that we know. And just like Stephanie was saying, start with the people you know and reach outward from there. They will share your story, and then their friends will share your story too. You can just see there's a lot of stuff, great stuff on this website. But the best part where I like to hang out is down here at the bottom, where you can get updates. You can learn about events that are worldwide. You can also download materials. I went to the download material place, and here where you can get an informational pack about Rare Disease Day. Once again, you can get logos like the one that we have in our background. As much as I'd like to take a photograph of Tina's shirt and put it in the background, I'm not that good digitally. So use their products. And then there's a fact sheet about Rare Disease Day and everything else. So not really sure what I clicked on there, but I went away and I went to their fact sheet. Well, that was stupid. I'm coming back. Anyway, what I wanted to show you is that it was just really a great place with a lot of great information. And what's really cool is we were talking about social media. If you look on this page, you can also do picture frames and badges to do on your photos for Facebook and Instagram and Twitter.
So you do it now.
And you can get this information now, put it out on your pages when everybody comes and you post on Facebook. You're supporting Rare Disease Day, and you're supporting SPF and everybody with SPF, with HSP and PLS. So
it's all about spreading awareness.
Yes.
I mean, we are talking a lot about fundraising, but we can't forget the part about just even making rare diseases known.
Exactly. We all said, we've given statistics about rare diseases, 1 in 10, 1 in 4 on a bus. Everybody we know has a rare disease in some form or another. It's just spreading the word and bringing awareness. Frank had a great suggestion. Reach out to your legislators, both in your state and at the national level. Make this a priority, or help them make this a priority for everybody, not only us, but for everybody else who suffers from a rare disease. One of the cool things about SPF is that, our foundation is really a global foundation. We have members around the world that are doing things to support all of us around the world, both in fundraising activities and awareness activities. So the more that we share, the more that we get together, the more that we do as a family and as a team, the better we all are. I tell you, I'm not going to do 20 minutes today like I typically would do if we were at an annual conference. But I do want to leave you with this one thought before we finish today. And that is, with your help, we can raise awareness of HSP and PLS and increase support for those that face the challenges of living with a rare disease every day. And that is what this day is about, coming up at the end of February. We work on this every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that is what the foundation is here for you, to give you this information so that you can go out and champion your cause around the world. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And we want to remind everybody, Hank will put this up in a second, but it's rarediseaseday.org.
He already did.
And he already did it because he's fantastic. That's why we love Hank. Excuse me. And that's why we are here for you. So I'm going to pitch it back to my best friend, Jim, over there, and let him wrap this day up for us. But we're glad you got to spend some time with us today on this rainy, wet, snowy, crazy Saturday morning across at least the United States. Back to you, Jim.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. That's very informative. And again, if you have questions, please use the chat site. We haven't had many come through yet, but feel free to do that. In just a few minutes, Hank is going to be sending a survey out. So if you would take a few minutes to answer the questions while we wrap up, this will help us learn to do better. If you have any questions about anything, whether it's promotions, fundraising, whatever, feel free to send me an email at jimsheon@gmail.com. Last name is spelled S-H-E-O-R-N. Again, that's Jim, S-H-E-O-R-N @gmail.com. So any questions about Rare Disease Day, shoot it to me. And if I can answer that question, I'll shoot it right back to you. We also have a request for you guys. We have quite a few folks on the line today. We have several committees. The SPF has several committees: fundraising, marketing, education, tech, and we also have a committee that works on our annual conference. If any of you have any interest in raising money or giving us information about how you think we should do a better job or different things about fundraising, if you have experience, promotion, marketing, stuff like that, education is working with our ambassadors to help communicate stuff out to the general population, getting the website updated, making sure everything's up to date as far as the information we provide. And then the tech committee would be more technical communication, stuff like that, Facebook, social media. Or if you would like to volunteer to help out with the annual conference. We're still trying to figure out what we're doing with annual conferences because of the virus, the pandemic. So it looks like it may be a little bit before we have an actually in-person one. But if you feel that you would like to volunteer, have experience that you think would help us in any of these committees, again, shoot me an email and I'll communicate back with you. And then we will work together and see if we can get you on one of the committees. So, all right. Do we have any questions that we need to address? Anybody?
Jim, one thing I would like to suggest. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. One thing I would like to suggest is when we get closer to Rare Disease Day, people can contact their television stations or newspapers, and they would probably like to do a story on Rare Disease Day. And if someone could just tell about hereditary spastic paraplegia to their newspaper, that would increase awareness of hereditary spastic paraplegia a lot. So that's just a suggestion, maybe, to get more news out. And another thing I wanted to suggest is that I put a lot of information, put 4 things on our website this morning about Rare Disease Day. And so they can go there to our website and get a lot of information. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Tim, there was a question. Did you see it? It says, Tim, I wanted to know, are the polo shirts like the one you have on with SP Foundation logo on them available for purchase?
Actually, they are not. Actually, not now. They are. We're trying to build our store, our SPF store, and this may be an item later we can get. This is actually a shirt that Tina and I had made back in actually a long time ago in 2013 when we hosted the annual conference here in St. Louis.
Even further back.
No, it was 2013. Anyway, it was a long time ago. And by the way, it still fits. That's a good thing. But no, I had them made locally through a vendor here in the St. Louis area. And we put these, our logo on these shirts, wrong side. And so we had them made locally. So I wish they were available, but this is something you can use. We have graphics that are available on our website, our logo that you can download. And I took it to our local sports print. And when we had an event, like the annual conference, we made up a bunch of these to give to the board members and to our speakers and stuff. So if you're hosting a golf event or some other kind of fundraiser, you can have these made locally by just sharing the logo and have it put on shirts. So, but maybe in the future, our SPF store, as we get more and more things available, we might be able to make that available to you guys. So great question, Brian. That's wonderful.
Well, Brian, if you're doing like a fundraiser for Rare Disease Day, maybe you can download the logo for the Rare Disease Day, and then on the back, maybe put like Team Tina or Team Brian, you know, on the shirt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I hope that answered your question in a pretty concise manner.
Awesome. All right, guys, we're about to wrap it up. Again, I apologize for the confusion the first several minutes of my presentation. Hopefully you got the gist about how you can spread awareness and how you can raise money. This fundraising page will be up past Rare Disease Day. So this is just kind of a kickoff to start for this. You've got basically 4 weeks till Rare Disease Day. So kick off your plan now if you can, but we need your help, whether you're raising money, spreading awareness, or doing both. We need you to help spread the awareness and raise money for everyone to be involved. So if you have any questions about anything that was said today or didn't get said today, again, please reach out to me at Jim, SHEORN @gmail.com, and we will get the answers that you need. Stephanie, did you have anything you want to say before we head out?
No, I'm just thankful to have the opportunity to participate, and hopefully we can have some more fundraising success in the coming years.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for all you did. Great. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for coming. Have a great weekend.
See ya.